Riddle me this, nigga.
Black
Why
history.
would I ever stop? I'm representing for my niggas on every block.
Black history.
I'm representing for my niggas in every pen. I got my foot on the door trying to get us in. Come on, bruh, bring that real shit back. Tell them about Wallhouse and drug deals on Mac, nigga. Don't ever let them forget about the one way, Miss Portman Smith. I'll forever be proud where I came from. That's why I've been screaming this shit since day one. Nigga, I'm trying to bring my people along. Nigga, quit hating, let your people get on, And that's why I stay in your face, letting you know right from wrong. That ain't the way to behave. But nowadays, you know how they is. Like a bitch at Mardi Gras drunk showing her tits. Come on, bruh. Pull your shirt down. We used to pull coats, gotta pull your skirt now. So as I tug on your dress, no hard feelings, bro. I love you to death, nigga. But you know you was foul. Take a look in the mirror, cut that bullshit out, nigga.
So whatever I did with it, I had it.
Take a look in the mirror, cut that bullshit out. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, man. Cut that bullshit out, man. It ain't nobody but you. You know what I'm talking about, man. You can't blame that one right there on nobody else. Like I said before, it's nobody but you. Bro, why you be fucking with it like that, man? You know, but on to other news. Everybody out here, man, talking about, bro, why you be talking about this? Why you be talking about that? Man, let me tell you niggas something, man. I'm from 7400 one way, man. You know what I'm talking about? Mac Arthur's bandits around this bitch, bro. And as long as I'm here, nigga, I'm gonna tell you about everybody from that motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? Before this motherfucker over with, nigga, you gonna swear you was there. Introducing that motherfucking person, man. What's good with the people, man? Black history, man. You say Black history, bro? Oh, yeah, it's Black history. You know what I'm talking about? Black History Month with the baby cuz. And the penny, man, shut your ass up. And I ain't gonna ask you not one more time. You know what I'm talking about? What's good with the people, man? How y'all doing? We got this motherfucking dog in the back. So y'all gotta excuse, shut up! Y'all gotta excuse my dog. That motherfucker hear somebody out there and, that motherfucker be wanting to, be a part of the festivities, you know what I'm talking about? But yeah, you say Black History Month, oh yeah, man, I couldn't let this month go over, man. Without the Black History Month, I couldn't let y'all forget about the Pops. You say the Pops, bro? Yeah, I couldn't let you forget about R.I.P. Pops. I couldn't let us get on about this month right here, man, without giving Pops his credit. I say, bro, what you talking about? Places I'm from. Yeah, I can't get on up out of here, man, without giving Pops his credit. I say, bro, who is Pops? Cardell Sr., man, 7400. You know what I'm talking about? Pops done passed, man, but you gotta give Pops his credit. You know what I'm talking about? I say, bro, would you get on with the story? Yeah, man, my man Cardell Sr. You see, we was little, we came up off that one way. Man, how the fuck I get this shit up off my motherfucking shit? How the fuck I get this shit up off my shit? This motherfucker is This motherfucker is irritating. Let me see if I can go out and come in, y'all. Will this shit get up out of there, man? That motherfucker keep popping back up, nigga. Oh, yeah, man, Black History Month, man, with the baby cuz, you know what I'm talking about? They say, bro, what you talking about today? Oh, man, we gonna get in the Pops, you know what I'm talking about? 7400 one way, Cardell House, you know what I'm talking about? Shout out to all the fellas. They say, bro, what is you talking about? Like I said, man, Pops. We used to be little and shit, right? But you know, everybody had their grandmama, everybody had, you know what I'm talking about, their mama or whatever they was living with. It was Cardell, you know what I'm talking about? It was Simon, it was Miss Cork, it was Miss Smith, it was OG Mr. Ivy. You know what I'm talking about? Mr. Ivy was hella funny. That nigga Mr. Ivy did not like my nigga Raymond. I don't know why. He did not like Raymond. You know what I'm talking about, man? He couldn't stand that nigga Raymond. That nigga used to give us all candy in front of Raymond's face, man. I ain't lying to tell Raymond, get your ass on away from me. I don't like you. That nigga Mr. Ivy was a motherfucking fool when it came to Raymond.
You know what I'm talking about? But see, when you a little kid, man, you ain't even trip because them just people. That's just somebody's daddy or mama or something, right? You wouldn't understand it until you got older. You know what I'm talking about? So pop seen us all grew up and shit. Cause like I said, back in the day, it used to be family orientated. Like, wait, it wasn't like none of this shit like it is now, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody was kind of like a close knit family and shit. So I want to say because I've been seeing pops all my like we been new, but I just want to cause me and Cardell and them and Ken and them, man, we grew up fighting each other. Y'all know how that shit be. So I want to say my real first introduction to pops was on a motherfucking bike, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all know how you be cause the one way is like a slight hill. You know what I'm talking about? So you know you'll make the ramp, nigga, going down the hill, so you can get some real good speed going. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm coming down that motherfucker, man. I got hella far now. You can't take that away from me. I ain't get that high. I got hella far though, nigga. It felt like I damn near went from Earl in them house all the way to Pops in them house when I landed, right? But I tell you, however far I jumped, as soon as I landed right into Pop's back fender. Bam! You know what I'm talking about? I'm out for the count. So while they over there counting like 1, 2, it was this old man, Bob. Bob couldn't stand the nigga. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know why Bob couldn't stand the nigga. Bob used to like me when I was little. You know what I'm talking about? That nigga couldn't stand me once I was growing up. Hold on, that's the part I done left out a little bit. The neighbors couldn't stand me. I ain't gonna say stand me because they all had love for me, but they used to get mad because I like had immunity. You know what I'm talking about? Like I couldn't get in trouble. You know what I'm talking about? So they used to get mad that I didn't get whippings and shit from my grandma. My grandma didn't give a fuck about that shit. Hey, what's going on with you? Whoever came through here, man? Let me see, can I do that shit now? That motherfucker still popping up. Anybody know how I get this shit off the screen? I don't know how to get this shit off the screen, man. Don't nobody know how I can get this? I ain't open this shit with nothing. Say, welcome to the live chat. Remember to continue. I don't know about that shit, bro. I wish this shit would get up off my screen, really. That motherfucker still pop back up. But anyway, man, when we was little, man, we'll be all doing some shit, right? Everybody else be getting whoopings and shit, and I wouldn't get no whooping. You know what I'm talking about? My grandma didn't give a fuck about this shit. You couldn't come tell my grandma nothing. You want to hit this wig? All right. You couldn't tell Sime nothing. You get what I'm saying? She didn't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm talking about? You come down there, she gonna tell you, hey, that's my grandma's porch, man. You know what I'm talking about? She gonna tell you to get off her porch, man. That's what she gonna tell you. So this nigga Bob, he did, I don't know, it was just something about me he didn't like. You know what I'm talking about? He didn't take kindly to. You know what I'm talking about? So as soon as I hit Pops, my introduction to Pops, as soon as I hit that nigga Cal, like, bam, that nigga used to have he used to call it peanut butter and jelly. I think that motherfucker was jelly on the outside, peanut butter in. But I ran straight into that motherfucker, bam, you know what I'm talking about? Left a little dent in Pop shit. This is how I knew Pops was a player right then and there. It was either that or he didn't like Bob himself. Shut up. Because when I hit that motherfucker, I don't even know where Bob was at. Bob was inside this house somewhere. As soon as I hit that motherfucker, bam, I'm out for the count. You know what I'm talking about? This nigga Bob come over there. This nigga ran up out of his house. The first thing he say is like, see, now your parents gonna have to pay for this dent in this man's car. That nigga Pops looked at him. He was like, nah, man, that's all right. He ain't do nothing. That's my first introduction to him. Pops was a motherfucking player, you know what I'm talking about? He didn't go by the voices of the crowd and shit like they do today. Motherfuckers suggest something and you just jump on their suggestion. Pops looked at his own shit and made his own decision. Nah, man, he just a little kid. He ain't did nothing, man. You feel me? Now fast forward some years later, man. We all out there grinding and shit. Cause we just came up, man. We just all came up together like, wait, you know what I'm talking about? It used to be a bond. You know what I'm talking about? A bond. You know what I'm talking about? But, nigga, it was damn near like we was little homeless kids and shit, bro. I can't even lie to you. Like, everybody, nigga, it was like Pop's house was the group home, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? That nigga shit was like the group home, bro. That nigga, I'm telling you, bro. They need to build a statue on the one way of Pops, man. On some real shit. Nigga, Pop's the reason right now, hella motherfuckers, and I'm finna tell you these stories right here, and you might have a different, y'all gonna be like, damn, this old man, was fucking with the kids like that. But back in that era, man, that's how you had to fuck with the kids, because they was on their way to being men anyway. They was already out there. Seeing, like, instead of today, I don't even know how you would do that shit today, because niggas just play on the computer all day. So it ain't even like somebody older can groom you. You know what I'm talking about? Because they playing on this motherfucker as well. Like, you can't groom them. But back then, bruh, it's like if you seen the nigga had already chose that way, man, the next best thing you could do is give him some game for the game that he's in. You know what I'm talking about? And that's how it was. And I want to throw this motherfucker outside, but this motherfucker ain't gonna do nothing but try to jump through the window like a scary movie. Man, if you don't shut the fuck up, that's why that motherfucker up in there now. I tried to let the motherfucker out, turn back around, motherfucker was chewing on the wall. Now that motherfucker just gonna interrupt the baby cuz. Shit. I'm finna give this motherfucker a bone or something. I'm finna give this motherfucker a bone. I'm finna give this motherfucker a bone. Y'all hold on real quick, 'cause that's the only thing gonna shut this motherfucker up right about now. Listen. Now after you eat this bone, you might wanna listen, you might wanna eat this motherfucker real slow. Cause if you run through this motherfucker and you get to howling, I'm gonna throw you in this whole motherfucking cage in the backyard. I ain't gonna just put you in the backyard, I'm gonna put you in the farmhouse. You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna put you in the farmhouse so the Mexicans can hear you scream. You know what I'm talking about? They ain't gonna even be able to hear that shit. You know what I'm talking about? You can let the Mexicans hear you scream, man. But yeah, man, so we just growing up. And it, like I said, shout out to the grinders. It's a gang of motherfuckers like this, man, that don't be getting on some real shit. I know what this shit might be. On some real shit, man. I don't know. I'm gonna leave that motherfucker alone. I almost fucked my life, but I'm gonna leave that motherfucker right there. You know what I'm talking about? Just leave well enough alone. But yeah, man, growing up, we was all, like I said, man, we was like the little rascals around that motherfucker. But like, it was just hella shit going on at that time. So it was like, I'm talking about hella kids up in that motherfucker. See, I was around that motherfucker when, see, I was on the phone when they mama, before their grandmama passed. Cause they used to be her house. Then she left her house to Pops and Calvin, cause Pops got a brother named Calvin. You know what I'm talking about? Hella funny, man, my people. On some real shit. And it was like I was saying, like back then, bro, once they seen that you had already made your decision that you was gonna be in the game, a nigga would groom you. So Pops done sat down with us many at night, bro, telling us not to be goofy, telling us, you know what I'm talking about? He was the first one. Well, my mom had been told me that. But like, he was one of the first ones that was like, man, you don't, cause we didn't have no problem with fucking knockoff that come around there. Not come around there, owe a nigga $2. He liable to get a mud hole stump up out of his ass. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas then finesse the dime. I see you, man. Thank y'all for sliding through. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I'm on Black History, Pop's house. You know what I'm talking about? I can't forget baby cuz Black History. You can't do a Black History without Pops, man. He paved the way for a lot of the soldiers that's around today, man. Cause like I said back then, although we kids, we had already decided we was gonna grind. You know what I'm talking about? And I guess Pops thought, like if a nigga gonna be in that shit, y'all gonna make me go get my glasses. I'm on my little phone. What's good with it, man? What's good with it? Thank y'all for stopping through. But I guess Pops felt like it was his duty. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you what it was. I'm gonna tell you exactly what it was. See, like I said, I was around when Lil Cardell Jr. was alive. Thank everybody for stopping through. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I was around when Lil Cardell. We used to hang out, bro. We used to get into all kind of shit. You know what I'm talking about? Lil Cardell Jr. before he passed. I told you the night he passed, I ain't even know. This was way, way, way back in the day. What you coming them, you know what I'm talking about? Shout out Moan, kicking them, man. Cause I promise you, they came over there looking for Cardell. I had strep throat. And that's why I say, man, like it's crazy. Because if I didn't have strep throat, I would have been in the car with them niggas. You know what I'm talking about? And the next day I found out. I walked all the way from San Leandro to the block. I seen Lil Mo and Seal. They was like, bro, is it true? I'm like, what, bro? It was like, Cardell, I'm like, hell no. Man, I hit the bottom of the floor. I'll never forget that feeling. Everybody was in front of the house. I knew something had happened. It's like I hit the corner, man, and it was just like, I don't know. It was death. It was death. You could feel that shit in the air as soon as you hit the corner. You know, it was just like I don't know. That shit was crazy. But me and my nigga, man, me and my nigga Cardell, way back then, nigga, this the early 90s. I don't know, 92, 93, just the early 90s, though. Nigga, we used to sit there, and my nigga always had an elaborate-ass plan. You know what I'm talking about? We'd just sit there and come up with an elaborate-ass plan. I ain't bullshitting with you. I told y'all we was kids one day, nigga, and nigga, we was looking for a lick. We was finna go to 7-1 and do the old school fumble. You know what I'm talking about? It's cool if you could get away with it, but sometimes them niggas will get on you. Them niggas be way down there at the end of the block. I told you they got the bus in that YA and 4-way. But that was the thing back then about that Bammer weed, bruh. Cause 7-1, they had hella grinders. You know what I'm talking about? That's why we call it 7-1 grinding. You go down there, bruh, about 50 niggas then rest your car with hella hands in there with sacks, right? If you had nuts, somebody, that's why you always went there with 2 or 3 people. Somebody hit that motherfucking hand from the back seat, nigga, and you hit the gas. Now, if you, I ain't gonna, I ain't gonna, I wouldn't advise you to do it, man. Like I said, you might not get to the end of the block. They was busting that 4-way and YA, and then one day, the nigga said enough is enough. But nigga, we end up robbing the motherfucking paper man for a wallet. That nigga ain't even had no money. All right, he might have had some money, but I ain't had no time to check him. But we a nigga robbed that nigga with a wallet. You say a wallet, baby? Cuz I promise you. Another trick Pops used to always play with us like that. That nigga like hit his beeper or something, and he'd have his wallet pointed at you. That nigga could make it sound like he cocked a gun, nigga, and you'll really think it was a gun. So out there one night, I remembered that, you know what I'm talking about? I remembered that trick, you know what I'm talking about? On the paper man. Ran over there, put that motherfucker behind his head. That nigga was, man, that shit was hella crazy. But this is how karma gets you. I told you, this is why I started robbing a long time ago, man. Every time I hit a lick, bro, it ain't never went right. It just ain't never went right, bro. I was through with that shit. Man, we must have robbed that nigga, man, wrecked that nigga car. I'm talking about 3 seconds after we stole that motherfucker. Ran into each other. Ran into each other. But I was fucking with it way back then. I used to be spending the night at Pop's house and shit. So then, like, this time went on, nigga. And I ain't gonna say everybody was grown, nigga, but everybody about 17, 16, 18. Nigga, we all piled up in that motherfucker like Voltron, nigga. That was the house. Pops will give you some good-ass game. You'll be sitting around that motherfucker broke. If you knew how to grind, he'd give you a shot at a 60-40. You say, what's a 60-40? You know what I'm talking about? He'll give you 10 rocks, telling him to bring 60, you keep 40. That's what a 60-40 was, man. You feel me? If you knew how to grind, he just wasn't gonna give it to you if you was just finna selling rocks and get to buying weed and shit. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm talking about Pops took care of everybody kid, bruh. He did. It didn't matter if you had nowhere to stay or nothing. You feel me? It didn't. And Pops will fuck around and tell you who to watch. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, man, watch him. I ain't bullshitting with you. I ain't bullshitting with you. Pops gave some good game. I want to, on this Black History Month, I want to shout out Pops, man, because I know damn well that man and saved my life a few times. You know what I'm talking about? Just on decisions I was finna make. He did. That man saved my life. Firepower. All right, what's going on with it? I can't really see him on my little phone. You know what I'm talking about? I can't really see that good, people. Shout out to everybody up in this motherfucker who came through. Black History Month, Cardell House, man. Because nowadays, in these days, we ain't really got a lot of this shit going on. See, back then, they used to pass down man game. You feel me? They used to pass down man game. They used to tell you, shit, how you survive. You get what I'm saying? And Pops used to pass that shit down, even from when niggas go to jail. Pops taught niggas, man, you ain't supposed to, you know what I'm talking about? Niggas had loyalty amongst each other, bruh. When they was, be quiet, when they had, when they was coming up. They used to look out for each other and shit, pass the hat around. Somebody that went down, man, you go down to the spot, you pass the hat around, man. You know what I'm talking about? You come up with something for your folks. You don't be sitting around, you be real with your homeboys. You don't, you know what I'm talking about? You don't do all that backstabbing shit. You don't do all that, just that fuck shit. Shut up! Can't get that motherfucker nothing. I told your ass don't eat that motherfucker fast. Then y'all hold on. I done had about enough of you in your goddamn mouth. I ain't bullshitting with you. There ain't nothing else to eat. Sit your motherfucking ass down is what you do. I say sit down. You know what I'm talking about? That's what time it is. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down and shut the fuck up. That's what you do. You feel me? That's what you do. Just sit down and shut the fuck up. But a few times, man, Pops would never let me make no bad decision. You know what I'm talking about? If I ever ran it by him, that Pops was a real confidant. You know what I'm talking about? You could damn near, you could tell Pops anything. You could tell Pops you done knocked the motherfucker down on everything. For real. And it wouldn't even like, that shit crazy. He just wouldn't give you no bad advice. He wouldn't. If you was finna go do something stupid, he'll pull you to the side. Like, listen here, son. You know what I'm talking about? I remember one time, Ken and them Uncle Mike, I don't know what that nigga had some kind of Mac 11, Mac 10. He had some kind of, you know what I'm talking about? One of them things you could use at that time. You know what I'm talking about? It was a good thing to have around there. But that shit used to be cheap back then, lightweight too. So I think that nigga only wanted $350 for that motherfucker. I think he only wanted $350 of my old cheap ass. I wanted to get a man like $50 less. That man told me, man, if I sell it to you for that, man, I might as well, like, he said, if I sell it to you for that, I'm basically gonna be letting you buy that for that, because I ain't gonna never see that $50 again. That's what he was trying to indicate. You know what I'm talking about? Baby cuz hadn't built his name up to Supreme yet. You know what I'm talking about? So I was like, damn, I let the man leave. Then like 30 minutes, I'm like, man, fuck that. I'm finna get this man this little extra $50. And I went to Pops, bruh. And Pops was like, all right, I'm finna call him. So we sitting there for hella long, nigga, waiting on this man to come back. Nigga ain't never came back. He was like, fuck it, man, we just finna leave. But years later, when I was trying to get that motherfucker, and they was like, bruh, had already sold it. They sold that motherfucker to somebody else. But Pops pulled me to the side, down the road. He was like, listen, son. He was like, I ain't want you with that gun. For real, that's way back. That's way back then when Brad was really drinking. You know what I'm talking about? Man, I was something. You know what I'm talking about? When I was really drinking, but that man told me he wouldn't have been able to live with himself. How drunk I'd be out there, and he don't let me get that gun down and sat around there and did some bullshit. My man said he would have never forgave himself. You get what I'm saying? So I respect Pops for that as a kid. Because although like he was giving you game, he wouldn't let you do nothing dangerous. He wouldn't. He'll tell you to leave that shit alone. Quit. He wouldn't really let you jump out the window. He'll just give you game for what you was in, bruh. And I'm talking about we was piled up in that motherfucker, bruh. Feet to feet. You know what I'm talking about? Since I've been hella little. Like Pop's house was always, bruh, you could do anything, bruh. And ran to Pop's house. I'm talking about you could do anything. But Pops also would tell you, like, if the police do not run to his house about them police chasing you. You know what I'm talking about? You can't run. You can run to his house after you get away, but don't run to his house about when the police chasing you. Don't make his spot hot. You feel me? And on this Black History Month, man, I want to shout out Pops, nigga, Cardell, man, Cardell Sr. R.I.P. Cardell Sr. and Cardell Jr., man. Some good people. Cause it really wasn't no, with Pops, it wasn't like no favoritism, even though it was, you know what I'm talking about? But he's just gonna tell you right from wrong. If you was wrong, you was wrong. If you was right, you was right. You know what I'm talking about? But he always told us, bro, he just instilled that real shit you need to get around this motherfucker. My nigga, I bullshit you not. See, y'all think I just be talking this shit. But Pops used to fuck with LeJune. Since I been a baby, that lady was calling me the potential one. I am not bullshitting with you, man. She used to always say the potential one. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what that lady seen in me. You know what I'm talking about? Because there was 50 other motherfuckers around there, but she looked at me and said the potential one. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out LeJune. But they just, because we was hella bad, bro, in a way. But, you know what I'm talking about? I can't explain it. You had to be there to understand it, man. But it was cool. It was like family, bro. I can't explain it. It was like some little rascal shit, some stand by me shit, on some real shit. On some real shit. And motherfuckers like Pops, they never, like they don't never get they credit. You get what I'm saying? That man sat there and took care of hella people kids, bro. Now I know the nerd ass motherfuckers of the day, they gonna be hearing this talking about, man, that don't even make no sense. That y'all had an old dude and like they was teaching us wrong and all that shit. They wouldn't, bro. They was giving us game. The game they was passing down was the game of life. It didn't have nothing to do with just no streets or selling dope. It didn't. It had more to do with your integrity and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Your characteristics as a person. You know what I'm talking about? It had more to do with that shit. And I felt like it ain't no more of that shit around here now, bro. It's just everybody do what they want to do. You get what I'm saying? But back when I was growing up, bro, they really pulled your coat. You couldn't be out there goofy, bro. You know what I'm talking about on this Black History Month. And talking about Pops and them. Shout out to them people, man. Like if you was a little nigga, bro, you couldn't come out to the spot and be doing hella stupid shit. Them niggas wouldn't let you come out there. They'll tell you to get on away from there with all that hot shit. So you just couldn't do shit. You couldn't be around niggas goofy. And back in them days, you know what I'm talking about? That's all you really wanted to do was go kick it with the players. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas driving all kind of shit. A lot of old schools, you had a few niggas with some BMWs and Benzes and shit. Even if you had a BMW or Benz or something, you still had an old school. So if you was a youngster, nigga, you wanted to hop in the car and be knocking with the OG. You know what I'm talking about? That's how you got good game. Fucking with the OGs. See them back then, bro, you just wasn't around talking and shit. You know what I'm talking about? When the older niggas was chopping up game, bro, it ain't like it is today. You wasn't butting in, asking hella questions and shit like that. You know what I'm talking about? You was listening, soaking up game. You know what I'm talking about? They don't do that no more. Really, it ain't no game to soak up. It's all that land of imaginary shit. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody else lies and shit. That's all that shit be. Motherfuckers just playing with you. But back in the day up out that Cordell house, man, that motherfucker was like headquarters, nigga. That motherfucker was like headquarters. It was the time when everybody was lightweight funky. That shit was hella funny, but it wasn't once you look back at it now, man. Niggas was, man, be quiet. The niggas was just on some shit. But it was a time where you just had to watch out, nigga, because it was a little bit funky. You know what I'm talking about? With all kind of shit, bruh. Pops had him a little spat. You know what I'm talking about? But it was, I don't know, bro. That shit felt like a scene out of, I don't know, like 300 or something. Be quiet. Because it's just like everybody had everybody back. You know what I'm talking about? See, back then, you kind of stuck together, like, you know what I'm talking about? It was real because not only was it a lot of shit going on, but like, I come from one of them places, I mean, I guess motherfuckers did, but we didn't really have hella outside friends. You know what I'm talking about? It was us. Our closest allies was Lacey. You know what I'm talking about? Our closest allies was Lacey. Because before everybody just came together, it was the 4 and the 6. So it was like, we was the like allies. 72nd, 74th, 76, we kind of rocked everywhere together. Or not Lacey, just us and the 6. But I'm one of the motherfuckers, bro, I was just around neighborhood, so I used to fuck with everybody, you know what I'm talking about? I had folks from everywhere, man. We used to just be fucking with it. House party kings we was, you know what I'm talking about? But on some real shit. Like motherfuckers like that, they look at him funny today in society. You know what I'm talking about? They would have called Pops a Pookie and a Ray Ray and shit, talking about he was silly for raising his kids and all that. But a lot of shit y'all don't be understanding is, bruh, it's a lot of that shit be based on where you at. You could listen to somebody else and let them tell you what it is, bruh. But the people they giving you, they wouldn't been able to give their people the same game where they was at. You know what I'm talking about? They would have been able to give them the same game, but they would have had to give them some other game. You know what I'm talking about? Because it was a little bit rough. So it wouldn't all that shit, go to school and all that shit, man. Niggas was out there trying to ride Mustangs, Cougars, and Cadillacs. You know what I'm talking about? They didn't really want to hear that shit. So it's almost like once you see somebody, once they done already made up their mind to do what they gonna do, it's like you groom them from that point. I already see you gonna do this. But at least if you gonna do this, man, I'm finna sit you on down and, you know what I'm talking about, give you the ropes of this shit. On some real shit. Let me see if this motherfucker gotta use the bathroom. And I already told you, if you don't shut up, if you don't be quiet, what do you want? Because you're not coming out. How about that one? Now sit down. And sit down and shut up. As long as that motherfucker can't see, she cool. But as long as that motherfucker can see you, she gonna bother the shit out you. That motherfucker pulled her blanket up in her cage till she could see. You know what I'm talking about? And as soon as she could see again, she was on one. But yeah, man, motherfuckers wasn't listening to that shit. So when motherfuckers saw that niggas was gonna do what they do anyway, niggas start grooming you. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga give you some good game. Like I said, they don't do that no more. They give you imaginary game. You can't even really groom no nigga for this phone generation and computer shit. You can't. That's why this shit goofy as a motherfucker right now. But I came from a block, bruh, with my nigga Cordell, man. I'm telling you, they should build a statue of that man on the one way. That man took care of hella people kids, bruh. On my mama, that man, that man provided shelter for hella people kids. At once, you know what I'm talking about? And what was so cold, nigga, that nigga had rules in his house, you know what I'm talking about? It wasn't just like no hangout. You just couldn't, nigga, you couldn't come up in there and cut up no dope. You couldn't possibly leave, then you take your own case. You know what I'm talking about? You wasn't finna get caught with no coke, your coke up in his house. Cause if they catch you, your bundle in his house, he going to jail. Tell you, I remember Pops fired on me one time. He called me cutting up some coke in his back room. He was hella mad. Cause Pops done went to jail like that before. You know what I'm talking about? I'm telling you to this day, nigga, Pop had the coldest hiding spot in America. You know what I'm talking about? That nigga had the coldest hiding spot in America. I had to keep on running up in that motherfucker. Pops getting away scot-free, man. But that nigga had like an all-night house. He did, man. My nigga had like an all-night house. You could come knock on the door at any time and that motherfucker Pops gonna, not if you was in there and that nigga told you, because if you was up in there and that nigga told you, be up in this motherfucker by this time, it'll be about like 3 or 4 o'clock or something. I think it was 2. Like, man, you ain't up in this motherfucker by 2, nigga. I'm not, you ain't getting in this motherfucker. He wasn't playing about that. But you can come knock on that motherfucker, you know what I'm talking about? If it was serious, he'll let you in that motherfucker, though. On some real shit. If you knock on that motherfucker and tell him it's serious, he'll let you up in that motherfucker. You might not be able to stay, but he gonna let you up in that motherfucker till the closest clear. I told you, I remember one day, nigga, me and Ernie Ping, I promise you, nigga, that shit was just like a scene off of Friday. You remember when they, the people was chasing each other through everybody's house and shit? It was a scene just like that. I got a story about it, actually. Man, that Here's Johnny, when Ernie Ping knocked that nigga through the coffee table. Nigga, I promise you, we come down there. That's the day the nigga pushed me down the stairs, and I caught myself and ran back up to that motherfucker. Man, they couldn't close the door. I fell down hella stairs, bro. This is how quick that shit happened. I caught myself on that last stairs, nigga, and catapulted myself back up there before they could close that motherfucking door. Had that nigga like this. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, we was in there. Me and Ernie Ping did a number on him. I'm telling you, me and Ernie Ping did a number on him. We was up in there on him. Ernie Ping gave his ass one to grow on. Shout out Ernie Ping. He used to be up in there with us. That's Ken and them cousin. Ken, Lil Rube, and Dell and them cousin. We used to be up in there. My nigga Ping, man. That nigga was hella funny, man. Ping was a fool. On my mama, Ping was a fool. That nigga was hella funny, man. Ernie Payne just got out of YA, hit that nigga with one of them motherfucking hooks, knocked that nigga straight through the coffee table. Then when we ran down the motherfucking stairs, nigga, the police was already pulling up to that motherfucker. We had to slide across the hood, nigga, we out. By the time we was running in the Pop's house anyway. But by the time we got up there, it was like Pops was serving a knock or something. We ran straight through Pop's house, hopped the fence, ran straight to Nate's house. They door was open, ran straight up in there with Steen and them. Straight up in there, and then they went around there, talked to the people and shit. The coast was clear, we was up out of there. Me and my nigga O hit one of them too, man. Me and that nigga O, bruh, I don't even know how we did that. Cause ain't neither one of us like we fast or nothing, but we, man, we hauled ass. We was over there with the alcohol, man. You know what I'm talking about? This way back in the day when Greenside, the first Greenside stove burnt down and all the knocks was going up in there stealing hella alcohol. Nigga, they was coming through the hood selling that shit, right? This particular day, I don't even know what happened. I just know we had that nigga in the chokehold and shit, right? And when we had him in the chokehold trying to get some of this alcohol from him, right? Nigga, the police be at the corner. Nigga, we had to unhands that nigga and nigga, we ran from like 77 to Champ House, hella quick. Nigga ran straight up in there and went to sleep till about 10 o'clock. When we was getting up in Champ House, the police was, they was just getting to the 75th stop sign. On some real shit, man. Black History Month. Little bit of history baby cuz done seen, man. But Pops was, he was straight up and down, bruh. He was. He wasn't with that funny shit. My nigga was straight up and down, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? No matter what happened. If you right, you right. If you wrong, you wrong. It ain't no in between. And we don't got that no more. It's always an in between. And that's how that shit snowballing out of control, bruh. Cause they just make shit normal. You know what I'm talking about? They make it normal for you to lie and try to make the shit seem cool, or they just make all that shit normal now. That's what's got everybody over the place right now. You just really want to keep it real. Cause it really ain't no more honor amongst this motherfucker, bruh. It ain't. There ain't no more honor amongst this motherfucker. Anything goes now. And that ain't never been good. I mean, it might be good if you in a Royal Rumble or something, nigga. You could bring a chair to that motherfucker, anything goes. It might be good in a situation like that. But not on Earth, folks. And that's why I don't be understanding this shit now, bruh. Because I came from, like, the bricks, bruh. When niggas was out there really having to grind, bruh. Y'all just don't know how hard that was, bruh. You don't. Because you could just fuck around on this computer now, nigga. Back in my day, nigga, you had to put your life in danger, bruh. We had some of the most notorious jackers running around that motherfucker, bruh. So you had to have some kind of nuts even to stand on that block, bruh, to deal with the police and everybody else that might be coming through that motherfucker, bruh. That shit took a little bit of heart. If you made a conscious decision to do it, you know what I'm talking about? Because that shit was dangerous. And we made a dangerous ass choice as kids. You get what I'm saying? But when I tell you we used to have fun, it ain't like it is today, bruh. Niggas was really, you had shit going on outside. Everything wasn't going on inside the computer and the invisible. Like, niggas was really throwing shit at the Escawari, Diamond Park. Like, you could really get out, mix and mingle with the people. You know what I'm talking about, gang? You some new followers even. You know what I'm talking about? It was all that shit right there, man. It was cool. There was a player spirit in the air, bruh. Like, players from everywhere could get together, nigga, and it'll be smooth. You know what I'm talking about? It'll be smooth. See the part that they didn't get on Sieg video, Slip, Slide? Because they did part of that shit on the turf when Indian Tone was in the old school super side, right? See, the part the cameras didn't get is when Pops came up there in that long-ass white Cadillac, nigga, it burned a hell of rubber. See, that's the part they didn't get on that motherfucker. Yeah, that's the part they didn't get on that motherfucker. When Pops was coming down the 6, burning hella rubber in that motherfucker, he was finna give it a swing, you know what I'm talking about? Then the police came and broke that shit up. But Pops was finna go out there and burn hella rubber and try to get a donut in that big-ass long white caddy of his, you know what I'm talking about? We used to fuck with it, bruh. It was just like love in the air. And can I tell you, for so long, bruh, we kind of caught a cold crush later on in the 2000s, bruh. But before that, bruh, you know how, like, we had all our niggas. You know what I'm talking about? About the only one we was missing at that time. No, we wasn't even missing Cardell at that time. We wasn't. Cardell was there. So that must have been like, I don't know, 94, 94. It had to be. Cause I think my man passed in 94. Cause he was there with us. Because they bought the camera back out, that Conquest, that green Conquest. Y'all see, he wasn't even supposed to be in the video. My nigga just came out there so sick with it, swinging that motherfucker. He was the hardest one on my mama. That nigga in that green Conquest, he was swinging the fuck up out that motherfucker. Cause I'll never forget in the crowd, I was on the side of Harold's, but there was a lot of motherfuckers on the car wash side. And I remember when he was going around, I remember he almost clipped my nigga Teddy from 82nd, bruh. Teddy had like a fifth of gin in his hand going done with it, you know what I'm talking about? That nigga was hella drunk, everybody was telling him to swing it. Nigga, that nigga came through that motherfucker and he tore that motherfucker up. Like I said, he wasn't even supposed to, you wanna hit this wig? He wasn't even supposed to be in the video. So, we used to get three, 400. Yeah, this was the time. I'm glad you said that, because at this time, this was the time we had a rolling ass spot on 75th. We used to sell 40 sacks. I don't never touch. That's when I served my first decoy. That was the first decoy I served, man. That bitch came through that motherfucker in the vet with a white person. But our spot was rolling so hard, we had them kind of knocks. I promise you, we had lawyer knocks and shit, bro. That motherfucker, we had fat ass 40 sacks. And if you from the town, I know you remember. You can't remember when 75th, because that was that's the only thing I seen even up there with the red fence. And the only reason I said that is because ain't nothing ever been like the red fence traffic, nothing. But the reason why I say that, because the red fence was just selling 10 sacks. We had traffic like that over there, nigga, and they was selling 40 sacks. So you know that motherfucker was Barton. You know that, man, I can't even explain it. Back then, that motherfucker, man, you get so much weed for $40, that motherfucker killed it. You had niggas from Frisco, Richmond, you had everybody coming to 75th, for real. And that was back in the day when my nigga Trent had that good game. We was over there, man. Man, be quiet. She must could see again. I'm telling you, she must could see again. Yeah, that motherfucker must have pulled that motherfucking blanket. What I tell you? Listen to this one right here, man. I don't care how many times you pull that motherfucker up in there like that, man. You know what I'm talking about? It's time for you to chill on out. That's what it's time for. It's time for you to chill on out, man. I'm gonna cut that one off right there to indicate it might be time for you to lay down. Yeah, that it might be time for you to lay down. But let me turn this fan off. It done got cold in this motherfucker. Be quiet. Yeah, man. But back then, it used to be so much, it was just a different kind of fuck with it, man. It was. Like on the real, when I was growing up, OGs didn't even like silly ass youngsters, always playing too much and all that shit. They didn't. I remember for hella long, my nigga Ant Waters couldn't stand me. That nigga couldn't stand me. That nigga told me I play too much, man. I'm always talking and shit. I told you, we've been tearing them. Y'all hold on. You know what? I'm about tired of you. And when I say tired, I mean tired. Come on. And guess what? I hope you had to use the bathroom, really. Nah, you wanna, nah, we ain't gonna do that. You get all that hollering. Go on out there and see what's out there for you. Go on see what's out there for you. Now, I hope that motherfucker finds something to play with, because if she don't, that motherfucker gonna be coming back to this motherfucker, hitting that motherfucker hella hard, nigga, like a zombie movie. Cowboy Muse, what's good with the people, man? What's good with it? I'm just up on here, Black History with the baby cuz, you know what I'm talking about? Letting them know just how I was fucking with it growing up. Pop's house. Can't leave Pops out. Cause Pop stuck around for hella long, man. Hella long. And it was like as long as Pops was there, bruh, you if you was one of the fellas, it was like you always had a spot. It was like you always had a spot. He, ha ha, he, you know what I'm talking about? One time I came down there, I missed my man. That was that time I told you I went back, man. We went over there and parked over there on 82nd, man. Yeah, I'm talking about it was a big old bash. Everybody came from far and wide. Everybody was over that motherfucker, drunk as a motherfucker. I'm talking about we was on a good one. My nigga Slaw was over there in one of them old spiffy ass sweaters. My nigga was through with it over there looking like Bill Cosby. My nigga was sitting down on the table. I'm talking about niggas was super gone. And it just used to be good times like that, man. You feel me? That shit lightweight, it don't really be like that no more. So that's why I remember the times, bro. I was fortunate enough to come up in them times. If you get what I'm saying. I was fortunate enough, folks.
Pops and pass, man, but
shit. I wasn't even looking for that. I was looking for something else. You feel me? Okay. I was looking at my other video, man. When We Wrong. You know what I'm talking about? When We Wrong Wednesday part 2. So y'all excuse me while I do that, man. But like I say, man, in today's society, the people like Pops and shit, they get talked about like they the reason like the kids is fucked up and all that shit. Like the people like that, like how they be calling them Pookies and Ray Rays and analyzing all the shit. Man, I need to go get my glasses. I ain't bullshit. I can't see shit. But they look down on that shit in these days. Like a nigga did something wrong or something, had all them people, kids to control and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Had all them people, kids to look over and shit. Cause they'll paint a different picture for you right now. They'll tell you it was the generational curse and all this shit. I mean, of course there's one out there. That shit just different when you living inside that shit. That's what I'm telling you. That shit easy to talk about. You know what I'm talking about? What the motherfucker shouldn't have did and would have. Can I tell you something every generation did? What they had to do. That's why I ain't never believe in criticizing nobody. Cause it's easy to like criticize your parents and all that shit. But what did that have to do when you had kids? You get what I'm saying? Nothing. People, you gotta understand to be a time of life. And sometimes that's where you might have your kids when it was that time in your life, folks. And I ain't saying that it was something you could do about it then, but that should just be life, folks. And once you understand that, you'll understand that shit in your life. You know what I'm talking about? You didn't probably did hella shit you thought you wouldn't do when it came down to them kids. You feel me? You gonna do what you gotta do. Cause everybody just went through shit, bruh. And nowadays we shout out everybody up in this motherfucker. Thank y'all for sliding through. And we just criticize people too much, bruh. You feel me? And everybody, I don't know, you might have not, but like everybody that fell on hard times and just went through shit in their life. You feel me? So you should actually know how that shit feel. But in these times today, bruh, we don't do that. We don't. We just tease everybody about what they going through. It's a big joke, hee ha ha. You know what I'm talking about? But it really wasn't like that, man. Back in the day, like I said, you was together, you had so much love for each other. It wasn't even that you had to ask a motherfucker for something. Not saying this is what we should bring back. I'm just saying the love was so real back then, bruh. You wouldn't even have to say nothing, and the nigga would just peep you was down. Come throw you a few rocks, you know what I'm talking about? Give you some double upper plug just here, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? Get back on your feet. You know what I'm talking about? And back in them days, we just had coke masters around that motherfucker, nigga. Somebody was always on around that motherfucker. There was some good money coming through the Mac, man. I told you, I'm the one that had the East Bay rolling, man. You know what I'm talking about? And just people, they get a bad rap now. Like I said, they'll try to rewrite history, but you would never understand it because you didn't have to live in them times. You get what I'm saying? That's the first time when everybody turned to zombies. You niggas so soft now, y'all would have been broke down and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all would have. Seeing y'all people like that in the zombie state. You niggas so sensitive, y'all wouldn't be able to deal with that shit. That's why I say it's a gang of strong motherfuckers that came from my era. You actually had to walk around seeing that shit as a kid, bruh. You niggas would have been talking about y'all traumatized and all that shit, and y'all would have been sounding like the little girls and shit. Still holding shit against your mama and daddy and shit, talking about what you had to go through, and they didn't understand about you. Nah, niggas wasn't sitting around complaining and crying, bruh. Niggas made the best about that shit. That's why I made the thing about Black History Month. That was my second one. My Black History Month. Shout out to the grinders. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's another niggas that get lost. And I know I'm sitting up here just like I'm talking about Pops. You square ass niggas like, man, that wasn't cool for an older man to be doing that. You crazy, bruh. And that's what be goofy about you niggas. Y'all just repeat shit that you heard before. Nigga, that was exactly what we needed at that point, bruh. When he didn't judge us, he had already talked to motherfucker like, nigga, we been past a motherfucker telling us don't be on that corner and that shit ain't like, we been past that, bruh. So when you see a motherfucker going this direction, the best thing you could do is start grooming them, just give them the best advice. Because they've already made a conscious decision to do what they're gonna do. And once you decide that, once they passing that game down, that's the first thing they ask you. Like, boy, you know what you're getting into, don't you? As long as you know what you're getting into, bruh, it shouldn't be no problems one way or another, whether it's good or bad, because you understood the reward and the risk. And that's why that shit just be getting on my nerves, because we ain't got enough motherfuckers like Pops. Even though it was a gang of them, bruh, like, that's what motherfuckers need today, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? Even if you ain't got no father figure, mama figure or something like that, bruh, another motherfucker that's gonna give you some good game. You know what I'm talking about? Because we don't got that now, bruh. Motherfuckers try to walk you into their game, you know what I'm talking about? They gonna give you some game that at the end gonna benefit them. We didn't grow up like that, bruh. We didn't. And that's why I want to shout out and salute Pops. Because that nigga ain't gave nothing but good game, folks. Nothing but good game. He told a motherfucker, like, if you was broke, you couldn't ask Pops. That nigga look you dead in your face and say, son, I ain't gonna make a poor hustler out you. You know what I'm talking about? You better get your ass up and go outside, nigga, and find out on my mama. Pops just didn't play that shit, but he had love at the same time. Pops had hella love on some real shit. We used to just be around that motherfucker like the junkyard, though. Because Pops, he also always had Cardell Nova. Cardell had a 6.6 Nova. That motherfucker ran. He done blew like 2 350s out the motherfuckers trying to do donuts. Like, I can't even explain it, bruh. We some shit y'all be watching in movies now, bruh. We was young. I told you that nigga Rube had a car when he was like 11 or 12 years old. Bought that motherfucker from Asian Man from 3 times. On everything. A yellow Aspen. And for some reason, Rube couldn't swing that motherfucker. Man, that nigga Ken got in that motherfucker and was playing with that motherfucker like the Dukes of Hazzard car. He was in the back of the piece of place playing with that motherfucker. That motherfucker was swinging like a 50. But like, y'all will never understand it. And I don't even see how y'all would ever even get that feeling. Cause y'all stuck in these computers, nigga, but we used to be out there, nigga, past bedtime, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Out there in the streets, nigga, driving around just doing hella shit, bruh. As young men, you know what I'm talking about? We was young, folks. Having hella fun with it, though. You know what I'm talking about? Doing everything together, bruh. Doing everything together. Nigga, we was a family. I'm telling you, that shit like the Goonies or something, folks. We was that close, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? We go somewhere, nigga, one get down, everybody getting down, bruh. Everybody getting down, bruh. Niggas was just tight knit. You know what I'm talking about? There she go. I forgot she was outside. She could stay out there. That motherfucker finna start hitting the door hella hard now. But yeah, man, we was just tight knit. It was all for one. I'm talking about the whole hood, because back then it was just 7 Love. So the niggas amount up all down there through the 70s all the way to 82nd. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas mount up on some real shit. We was out there like, bruh, it was a different time, folks. It was a different time. On top of you having to take care of yourself. Because it ain't like motherfuckers just stayed with Pops hella long. Motherfuckers stayed with Pops until they lightweight till you got your little program together, then you was gone. But you just always knew you had Pops, nigga. Yo, hold on. It sound like I heard somebody talking to my dog. That motherfucker cool to see. That's how you want to play, huh? I wish we would just go play. I do. I just wish we would go play. But your silly ass don't know how to go play. So guess what? You can play in this motherfucking cage. Now you didn't use the bathroom. Come play with this. Now you didn't use the bathroom. I know you ain't got to use the bathroom. So guess what? No, don't let it know. Just not gonna let it know. Oh, that's what it is. There's a hole on that side so you can see. Okay. I got you. I got you. And don't sit your ass, beat your ass still. But yeah, man. My nigga Big Cardell, man. Lil Cardell, R.I.P. Some good people. And just like that, man, back in the day, that shit was like honor. We'll all go to my nigga Cardell on his birthday. Like, that's what we used to go on one at. We'll go to the cemetery. Even if that motherfucker was closed. We'll hop the gate. You know what I'm talking about? Park way at the bottom and hop the gate at that motherfucker. Partner, worldwide, y'all. Hold on, let me go get my glasses so I could appropriately read the comments from the fellas. Okay, we in action. We in action. Yeah, we in action. Hey, what's good with us, Memphis? I'm just up in here with a little Black history, talking about my folks, you know what I'm talking about? Like I so eloquently do, you know what I'm talking about? Eloquently do, you know what I'm talking about? You know, I'm bridge with his vocabulary. Yeah, man, but like I said, it used to be honor, bruh. So like on Cardell birthday on the nigga, we'll go to the cemetery, even if that motherfucker not, we'll park at the bottom, cause it was a dead end street right there anyway. Well, it used to be, they opened that motherfucker up. And we'll be up there hella deep. We'll be up there hella deep. That's why I said that in my rap, Minds Playing Trips. The Great Sight, me, Ken, Rude, Z, Han, and P. We used to be up there hella thick, just sitting up there getting hella drunk, you know what I'm talking about, just kicking it. That shit used to be real noble. We used to, you know what I'm talking about? Niggas used to, like, nigga, that was mandatory. You know what I'm talking about? We'll go on one, hit the graveyard, always pay our respect. All that shit is just a thing of the past now. Now motherfuckers be celebrating the famous people. They don't, you know what I'm talking about? They don't even be even worried about their folks like that. Now it be about all the famous people or who they perceive famous in the past and shit. But back in the day, it used to be real noble, real honor. You know what I'm talking about? We'll have to gate to get up in the cemetery. Some nights then got chased up out that motherfucker. It used to be an old man in the car. He used to be coming with his lights, checking, make sure there wasn't nobody up in there. We done had hella nights at that cemetery too. I had I told you, I was up there with Wichita there. When they came up there, that was a good night. Basically, I'm saying, bro, the days to me just was way better. Because I didn't live through both eras. And this era right now is just like, this shit is just a free-for-all. But back then, it was way more noble, folks. It was way more honor. And motherfuckers just kept it real. You know what I'm talking about? It was like everything they do now, and that was just like a sin. You wouldn't even want to be caught being in somebody else's business. You wouldn't want to be caught snitching. Like, that shit was for real then. You know what I'm talking about? And that was just something that you didn't want to be. But now they done made a perception like that shit just cool. You get what I'm saying? Which is cool. As like, I'm just gonna be the same way, bruh. I ain't lying to you. I'm gonna be the same way I always been when it comes to that shit. I ain't budging. Because I know this shit fake. Even though it's cool, I know it's fake. You know what I'm talking about? Just like Pops, that's the shit he used to tell us, man. That's why, like, the perception they got of them people now, the Pookies and Ray Rays, and this is what's wrong with the kids, how the people, nah, folks, that ain't what's wrong. Because it's the same way. You got to realize you live in the ghetto, nigga. It'll be the same way if you lived in the motherfucking jungle. You gonna teach your motherfucking young how to deal with the terrain. And that's what goofy ass motherfuckers don't understand. It's easy to say that shit if you somewhere and the terrain ain't that rough. You got a better chance of getting the motherfucker to listen to you and all that, bro. When the terrain rough out there, you got to pair the young for the terrain that's out there, bro. And that's why I be thinking motherfuckers hella goofy now. They be just making blank ass statements. Like, you should have grew up like this. Nigga, you don't know what was going on where a motherfucker grew up at, bro. That's what that shit depend on. You know what I'm talking about? Because it don't make no sense. Nigga, if they fighting outside and just robbing motherfuckers and all that shit, it's fucked up you over there, bruh. But you gonna have to teach your people how to deal with that. That's how a lot of motherfuckers learned how to fight, bruh. They got picked on first. Then enough was enough. I told you, I got an old school nigga named Luke Bowman, man. Back that nigga up into a corner if you want to. That nigga gonna come out, that nigga gonna come out swinging more than Mayweather, bruh. On some real shit. But like, people, they just talk regurgitated shit now. Hey, Steve, Mo, thank you for coming through. We just like talk regurgitated shit now. And it's like we be coming from, thank you, Mr. Gilmore. Thank you. Shout out to all my folks that's up in here, man. Shout out. Because it's like people don't understand. It's just like I said, we talk regurgitated shit. We talk the same shit. Like somebody say your kids not like, bruh, that shit depends on where you at. That's why I be saying these people be coming up here with a lot of blanket statements. It'd be cool if we all grew up like somewhere cool. That'd be cool as a motherfucker. You get what I'm saying? But a lot of times it don't fall like that, bruh. So when it don't fall like that, you gotta prepare your people for what you around. The same way if you was brought up in the jungle or the rainforest or something, bro. You gotta teach your young how to make it through the rainforest. And that's all people be doing. You get what I'm saying? Everybody wouldn't just, it's fucked up, but nigga, ain't no telling where you might be. But wherever you at, bro, you gotta prepare for that shit where you at. You know what I'm talking about? That's how you gonna make it through wherever the fuck you at. On some real shit. And that's all Pops did, man. That's why I commend that man on this Black History, bruh. Because people like that get left out because of the perception we put on the people today. If the people ever did drugs or something, you just gonna call them a dope fiend or not, bruh. Everybody go through shit in life, folks. They just do. They just do, bruh. Whatever the fuck it is. We just go through shit in life, nigga. We do. But now we got all them labels floating around and shit. So we just good for calling this person that person this person that, bro. Everybody on their own journey, bro. And they gonna end up where God planned their journey to end, bro. You know what I'm talking about? But I just want to commend all them people, man, that be forgotten. And they just didn't change the motherfucking shout out Memphis Talks. They just changed the Pookie, the Ray Ray, and all that shit, bro. They just changed everything because this is what they hear. And that shit don't be nowhere near the truth, bro. It don't. Just like Pops. Like I said, they'll be bashing Pops in these days right here, talking about he done taught all them people, kids, how to sell dope and all that shit, right? But Pops didn't, bruh. That nigga prepared us what was to come, nigga. Once we had made the conscious decision that we was gonna sell dope, he made the conscious decision that he wasn't gonna have us out there selling dope goofy. So that man prepared us for the dope game. You know what I'm talking about? As he should. And I want to shout out people like that, bruh, because it wasn't only Pops, it was a million of them out there, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? He's going to tell you like it is. It wasn't like he was promoting that shit, but he seen we made the conscious decision that we was going to sell dope. So when he seen we made the conscious decision we was going to sell dope, that nigga gave us game on how to sell dope. Don't be out there goofy. That nigga passed that shit down. We used to be beating up people and jumping on people for $2 and $3 and shit. Making our own spot hot. Making motherfuckers not want to come over there. Because if you over here and you short a few dollars, you going to get damn near your brains. That shit was goofy. He the one that put us up on that shit. Don't be loud. Don't be out here. He the one that put us up on the, stop. You see how that motherfucker's a J-Cat. He the one that told us, though, man, you already in the neighborhood selling dope to people. Man, go on and cut their grass, man. You know what I'm talking about? Go on and help them with their groceries when you see them coming in and shit, man. You know what I'm talking about? They already see you out here selling dope and shit, but give back, bruh. Let them know it's cool. Take care of your block. He did, bruh. And we did that, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, we wasn't doing it, but we'll pay some knocks and shit to cut the people grass and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Fix the people garbage and shit. You know what I'm talking about? To keep in good standards with the people. Just to be like, I know y'all see us. Thank you for not calling the police on us. Thank you for not having a problem with us. You get what I'm saying? We got you. And couldn't nobody come and see. We didn't have to worry about that shit. Because like I said, you knew that was Miss Smith house. You knew that was Syme house. You knew that was Miss Quirk house. We didn't have to worry about all them, no, for real, it was. We didn't have to worry about all that other shit, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas coming to break in the house. It was respect, bruh. It just wasn't this free for all, bruh. I'm telling you, I didn't see it, but my nigga Ken right now tell you the story when my nigga, hold on, let me catch that one. Y'all know my eyes bad up here. Bruh's getting old. Yeah, thank you, Steve Gilmore. Like I said, thank all y'all. Y'all know it's all love with me worldwide. But we didn't have to worry about that shit. Like I said, it was respect. Wasn't nobody coming up in there breaking in no houses and shit. Wasn't nobody over there trying to rob old people. We wasn't gonna allow that shit. You couldn't even fuck with the Knox over there. You better not be up there fucking with Rob or somebody, bruh. Like, everybody just looked, it was just like close knit, bruh. Even the people that use drugs and everything, it was still a love in the air, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? He gave us that game. You don't treat people like dolphins. He was like, man, them your customers. Them the people that's gonna make you rich. You want to take care of them people. You know what I'm talking about? On some real shit. I took that game right there. I'm the one that had the East Bay rolling. You know what I'm talking about? I took that game right there and ran with it. You could come get anything for bruh. I told you, I'll wake up. You could come get a free wake up before 8 o'clock. And I'll actually go out there at 6 o'clock, give you 2 hours. I ain't the one that said I'll give you a free wake up from until 8 o'clock, then come out there at 7:45. No, I actually come out there at 6 o'clock in the morning. Give you 2 hours. You know what I'm talking about? But I want to commend Pops again, man. R.I.P. to Cardell and Lil Cardell. But he gave us the game, bruh, and the shit we was doing. You get what I'm saying? He gave us the game and the shit we was doing, bruh. He just didn't let us go out there goofy. You know what I'm talking about? And he always preached, like, with your partners, man. It's supposed to be a code amongst your partners. On some real shit. Like, y'all don't be trying to sleep with each other, women and all that, man. That's like snake shit. That man didn't give us nothing but, like, he just preached honor. And he was hella funny. My man just preached honor. I'm telling you, he used to give us game because we used to be silly as shit. I told you all that time I ran up, not me, but the fellas. I got a story about that shit, about that radio. When them niggas sent us on a fake goose chase. When my nigga AF took us down there in this Cougar. You know what I'm talking about? They done dropped us off. Nigga, it ain't even no party. They done got us. We caused hell all the way back up 73rd, nigga. We knocked on them people. The bitches talking about come over there later, man. We went back up in there. They talking about ain't nobody here, man. Baby Cuz said, who's here, nigga? You know what I'm talking about? Baby Cuz said, who here? I need to see for myself. It was me, my nigga P. Green, and John Carvanis, bruh. We was up in them people's house, man. We done took them people radio, everything, man. We done ran through the backyard. We go to Pop's house. The people come straight to Pop's house. We had just sold Pops the radio, matter of fact. Man, listen. Pops went straight in this room, grabbed that radio, and took them people their radio, bruh. And came back in the house and said, give me my money back. He said, man, check this out, y'all. You don't do shit to people in the neighborhood, bruh. Pops was hella mad. Say, man, you don't do shit to people in the neighborhood, man. Y'all knock that shit off, man. This is the neighborhood. Y'all don't do that shit. On some real shit. Every time, like, every term, bruh, he gave us the best of game. He did, man. That man he ain't do nothing but preach noble game, no honorable game. You know what I'm talking about? You don't fuck people over. You know what I'm talking about? You always be honest. That's how people do business with you. Don't be running around here buying that fake jewelry because you want some jewelry that's real, so if it ever go bad, nigga, you could pawn it. Don't be spending all your money on that fake jewelry and shit. Get gold. Like, he just give us good game. You know what I'm talking about? Stop being flashy, man. You don't want to do all that shit. You put people in your business. Don't never take no dope from nobody. You know what I'm talking about? How that shit could get tricky. And if you do, man, you gotta watch out, because these are the things that can happen. You get what I'm saying? You been and took some dope from somebody thinking you gonna pay them back. You know what I'm talking about? Somebody been and stole your bundle back in them days. Now you in the hole. He used to just give us good game, man. And I want to shout that man out on this Black History, on Baby Cuz Black History. You know what I'm talking about? All the folks, because it used to be lovely, bruh. It just used to be good. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't really have to worry about nothing, nigga. The hood was like the army base, bruh. You just felt comfortable, bruh. You'll be in the corner and nigga damn near be drunk, falling asleep out there, man. You know what I'm talking about? On some real shit. It was just good times. We ain't got that shit in this day. Because the way they shut up! Because of the way we fuck with it now, bruh. It's like you can't even pass nobody down no good game for this computer shit. You know what I'm talking about? You can't really groom nobody. Like, look, bruh, don't be up here gossiping. Don't be talking like a bitch, man. Stand, be honorable and all. You can't really pass that down because the game already too far gone. And that's the thing that get you money, I guess. But it's already too far gone. So it's just cloudy with mess. You can't really pull nobody coat and tell them how to operate on this motherfucker. But back then, bruh, we got good game passed down. Well, I did. I don't know about everybody else. We did. Niggas I hung around. And it took to me, it took a real nigga even to take everybody kids in like that. Doing your own thing and you got kids, nigga. You done lost one. Oh, that's what I was gonna tell y'all. I'm glad I said that. That's what Pops told me long time ago. When we used to he said, he pulled me to the side one day. He said, son, you know why I always got y'all up in there? I was like, why, Pop? He said because he was used to 3 boys running around his house. Because he had lost his son. He said because he was used to three boys running around his house, man. Because he had lost his son. So I guess having all us up in there did something for him too. You know what I'm talking about? It helped him ease his mind. It was like he had hella sons all over again. And he gave us the game that I guess, like he gave us the game he gave his sons, nigga. Me, Ken, Rude, we was all up in there. That's they daddy, man. Good dude, bruh. One of the best dudes ever came around this motherfucker. On some real shit. Didn't pass down nothing but noble gang, folks. Ain't never told a nigga to do no sucker shit. Shut up. Ain't never told a nigga to do no sucker shit. If you was finna to do some sucker shit, he'll tell you that that's some sucker shit. I told you, me and Lil Rude went down there. Me and Lil Rude was on the good one. Then went down there fucking with Fred at 3 o'clock in the morning about some bitches. Man, we got back to the house. That nigga Pops was hella mad. Matter of fact, we didn't even get back to the house. That nigga Pops stopped us in the Cadillac, because I guess Fred and him called Pops. That nigga drove down the street and stopped us. He was hella mad. So you goofy ass motherfuckers, you don't go to nobody else's house, especially about no goddamn females. He was hella mad. I ain't bullshitting with you. You dumb motherfuckers. You done knocked on the motherfucking door, they been to blow your motherfucking head off. About a goddamn female. You know what I'm talking about? He was hella mad at us. But every time we was out of pocket, like, they'll check you like that. Back in the day, that was firepower. Back in the day, that was a nigga pulling your coat. You feel me? Back in the day, that was a nigga pulling your coat. And I just want to commend that man and take this time out, you know what I mean, to say rest in peace, my nigga Pops, Cardell Sr., and my nigga Cardell Jr. Because we used to be fucking with it, man. That's when everything was great. It was just like family, folks. You get what I'm saying? It was like you couldn't even explain that shit. I don't even think you could get this feeling today, because everybody inside the computers anyway. But we was kids, nigga, out there. From sun up to sun down, bruh. And like I said before, the 2000s came, like kind of like the early, mid 2000s. Excuse me. We had all our niggas. By that time, the only one we had lost was Cardell. By the time we had lost Marv, that shit just went down. That shit just went downhill. It was like we was losing all our niggas then. Because before, everybody else was losing they niggas. You get what I'm saying? So we really didn't feel the cold crush. We were still all out there able to make memories and shit, just fucking with it. Then later on down the line, we started losing. We took a hit, but man, it was always good, man. I know we'll never. I can't say never. I might not be alive to see it, but I know we ain't getting back to that shit no time soon. But that was the shit right there, bruh. Because you really had to be out there on concrete. It wasn't no running your mouth. If you was running your mouth, bruh, you had to run your mouth out there on concrete. You know what I'm talking about? It wasn't hiding behind something, changing yourself into another person and all that. No, you had to tell motherfuckers how you felt right then and there, bruh. You had to stand on your two for real. You had to walk around that motherfucker consistently standing on your two. You know what I'm talking about? And that's what made a motherfucker a man. That's why I tell y'all, man, you better go get you some real life motherfucking field experience, bruh. Don't just live life on that computer, bruh. Because when you out there, bruh, it's hella situations in the real world that you gonna run into, folks, and you need to know how to deal with them situations. Don't get hella old not to know how to deal with a just simple old ass situation, bruh. That's why them people that be losing their money, they be like jumping out of windows and shit. That's why they doing it, because like they ain't never been broke. So the thought of them being broke, you know what I'm talking about? Because they had money their whole life. They fuck with them like that. You get what I'm saying? You don't want to get hella old, not know how to deal with real life situations because you've been on this motherfucking computer playing for hella years. You don't, bruh. You need to know how you gonna maneuver in real life situations. You know what I'm talking about? Like if somebody jumped out with a gun and told you come here, is you gonna go over there? You know what I'm talking about? How far is you away? You know what I'm talking about? But you not knowing that, bruh, thinking you'll do something else, somebody will do the same thing, bruh, and you'll walk straight to him because you see that gun and you so spooked. You know what I'm talking about? It's just not even that, bruh, just everyday situations. You need to know how to deal with that shit, so go find out for yourself, man. Don't be taking these other people's word for it, bruh, because they don't got motherfuckers that'll groom you now. You get what I'm saying? So it's a lot of motherfuckers just out there game goofy. You know what I'm talking about? You got more of the motherfucking nerds and squares and shit now passing down the game. You get what I'm saying? So just think the game these motherfuckers are sucking up is straight nerd shit, straight square shit. And when I say square, I don't mean just like a normal person, bro, that's handling their business. That's not square to me. Like when we used to be in jail and niggas say squares, like all the squares was in jail, bro. The hit people was on the street. You get what I'm saying? That didn't make no sense, bro. We was the squares. You get what I'm saying? So that don't work for just the average person. The square and the nerds is the motherfuckers who be like sitting up here ain't never been to jail and be having channels about paperwork and shit, having channels about killings and shit, don't know what they talking about. That's nerds and square. People who really don't know, but they sitting here portraying, acting like they do know, giving you their opinion on shit they ain't never been through. That's nerds and squares. My definition. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man. Once again, I'm finna get up out of here. And cause I got some things to do, you know what I'm talking about? And I'm tired of this goddamn dog barking. But yeah, man. I want to shout out all my niggas. I don't know how many of these I'm gonna come back with within this month. You know what I'm talking about? You might get a few more, I don't know. But I just want to commend all my niggas that be forgotten. All my niggas nowadays, they turn them niggas into a joke and a punchline and shit. Pookie Ray Ray and all that, and Bad Father and Pookie Father and all that shit. Nah, bro, y'all never understand that shit with your goofy square ass. You'll never understand it. That's what you need. That's what we need now. But you square ass goofy motherfuckers got it so out of control, you'll never be able to get it. You know what I'm talking about? We done missed that point. But we have motherfuckers that really tell you. You know what I'm talking about? Really got you characteristics and integrity and dignity and all that shit as a man. You know what I'm talking about? Why now they just preach the bullshit. You know what I'm talking about? So I'm finna get up out of here with y'all smoking. You know you gotta give it up for the block. The block. The block. 7400 one way, man. You know what I'm talking about?
Riddle me this, nigga. Why would I ever stop? I'm representing for my niggas on every block. I'm representing for my niggas in every pen. I got my foot on the door trying to get us in. Come on, bruh, bring that real shit back. Tell them about Walt House and drug deals on Mac, nigga. Don't ever let them forget about the one way, Miss Court, Miss Smith, huh? I'll forever be proud where I came from. That's why I've been screaming this shit since day one. Nigga, I'm trying to bring my people along. Nigga, quit hating, let your people get on, huh? And that's why I stay in your face, letting you know right from wrong. That ain't the way to behave, but nowadays, you know how they is. Like a bitch at Mardi Gras drunk showing her tits. Come on, bruh. pull your shirt down. He used to pull coats, gotta pull your skirt now. So as I tug on your dress, no hard feelings, bro, I love you to death. Nigga, but you know you was foul. Take a look in the mirror, cut that bullshit out. Nigga, you know you was foul. Take a look in the mirror, cut that bullshit out. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, man? Cut that bullshit out, man. It ain't nobody but you. You know what I'm talking about, man? You can't blame that one right there on nobody else. Like I said before, it's nobody but you.
You know what I'm talking about?
Bro, why you be fucking with it like that, man? You know, but on to other news. Everybody out here, man, talking about, bro, why you be talking about this? Why you be talking about that? Man, let me tell you niggas something, man. I'm from 7400 one way, man. You know what I'm talking about, man? Cars and bandits around this bitch, bro. And as long as I'm here, nigga, I'm gonna tell you about everybody from that motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? Before this motherfucker over with, nigga, you gonna swear you was there.
You know what I'm talking about? Before it's over with, you gonna swear you was there, man. You know what I'm talking about? No, I'm finna get up out of here because this dog just ain't gonna shut up. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody. You know what I'm talking about? I want to commend my nigga Pops, man. Cordell, the forgotten Black history, man. They ain't forgot about all them people like that, man. You know what I'm talking about? Because they shoving the new ideology down you niggas' throat. You know what I'm talking about? But nah, bro, I remember when it was. You know what I'm talking about? I remember the real shit, bro. You know what I'm talking about? They'll never break my spirit with this old fairy tale ass shit coming on now. I remember when you had to be outside to talk that shit. You know what I'm talking about? But what do I know? Only you know what I'm talking about, could prevent forest fires, man. And with that one right there, if you don't remember nothing else, man, always remember. And I say always remember, man. It don't cost nothing just to show a little bit of that love, man. You know what I'm talking about?